Hi guys, welcome to another episode of On Track Parenting. Whether this is your first time joining us or you're a regular viewer, thank you. Thank you for taking the time individually, as a couple, or with a group to focus on your parenting journey. If you have not done so already, be sure to download the outline to take notes and help keep you on track in this session. Now, I am sure as a parent, you have experienced the push and pull of parenting. So many things are vying for our attention, time, and energy. So much is pushing and pulling us in multiple directions. There are three main areas that I hear time and time again from parents raising kids in this generation that are pushing and pulling them in parenting. First, there's the push and pull in decision making. What is the right decisions? If you have a newborn, what items do you need to have on your registry? How do you pick the right pediatrician? Do you sleep train or not? If you have a school-age kiddo, do you send them to public school, private school, charter, homeschool, STEAM, co-op, online school, or a whole slew of other options? As they become teenagers, when do you let your kids date? Drive? Curfew? What are their boundaries with technology? And oh my, then they get ready to graduate from high school, and then what? Junior college, four-year university, trade school, military, straight into the workforce, or take a year off? There are constant parenting decisions to be made with and for your children, no matter their age and stage. And there are endless opinions that contradict and conflict with one another on each and every one of these topics. So which one is the right one for your child? The pushes and pulls from your children, other parents, friends, teachers, coaches, and more could make your head spin. So how do you even make the right decision? Another push and pull is seen in the competitive, comparative culture that we live in, and that is in the area of your schedule. You've probably heard it before, but a common response to "how are you today" is busy, and the busyness seems to carry with it some sort of badge of honor. The more activities we can get our kids involved in seems to bring notoriety, admiration, and guarantees for success, right? Well, gone are the days of just recreational sports for fun, replaced by competitive, academy level, club, Olympic development, and so on. Then there are the arts, STEAM clubs, extra languages, and more. The options available to our children is truly endless with things they can be interested in, involved with, and signed up for. We've somehow convinced ourselves that the longer the resume our children can have, the better. We live in an extra hurried and harried time in history. Finally, there is a push and pull with regards to technology. Let's face it, we live in a highly overstimulating time. The noises and visuals surround us at home, in the car, at school, and basically everywhere we go. Within seconds, we can access any and everything around the world via the technology in our hands, in our ears, and on our wrists. Literally, the world is at our fingertips. Don't get me wrong, there are countless blessings to such connectivity. However, anything even good for you in excess or out of control can become bad. Now, I know I even feel stressed and overwhelmed just thinking about all of these pushes and pulls of the world that we live in. Yes, you still need to make vital parenting decisions on the daily. Yes, you need to have your kids involved in education and extracurriculars in some way, shape, or form. And yes, connectivity technologically is a reality of this world. To act as if you can do without decisions, schedules, or technology is just not practical. But how can you best navigate and manage these pushes and pulls from all the different directions? Well, first, be encouraged and rest in the truth of Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be honored by every nation. I will be honored throughout the world. This is the first and most important thing to do, and that is to push to be still and know God. To be still is a very intentional effort in this fast-paced, noise-filled world. Pause, rest, and then in the stillness, you can seek out God and truly hear what He has to tell you. And when you do this, God is immediately brought into the decisions, schedule, and even technology. The pushing and pulling can be put to a standstill because the greatest authority has been consulted and leaned upon for wise counsel. Now, once you're connected to God as your foundation, then push to be set apart. As believers in Jesus, we are called to be set apart. In the New Testament, the word for holy is hagios, and that means set apart, reverend, sacred, and worthy of veneration. You've probably heard that to be a Christian is to be from this world, but not of this world. This basically means that we are still human in flesh and temptation. We were all born here on planet Earth, as far as we know, and we are all from this world. But to not be of this world means to be set apart. We do not have to fall into the same patterns of living and deciding as everyone else, just because culture, comparison, and competition tells us to. 1 Peter 1:15-16 reminds us to always live as God's holy people should, because God is the one who chose you, and He is holy. That's why the scriptures say, I am the holy God, and you must be holy too. It's easy to read the scripture and think that's so not possible. Only monks and nuns can be holy, right? Nope. As believers in Jesus, we all fall short of God's glory and sin, and we can all strive to be holy too. This verse challenges us to push to be set apart. I know you've heard this before, but just because every other kid has this or their parents let them do that does not mean your child does or you condone that as a parent. And this is a tough, somewhat undesirable pill for our kids to swallow. But if we're not standing up for something, we're falling for anything. So stand strong, mom and dad, because those times that you are the weird parents may be the right times. Just as long, of course, that you're being set apart for God's reasons and not your own agenda. Then, push for quality and quantity time. This helps to balance out the busyness so you can deepen your connections with your children. And this one especially resonates high with me as my primary love language is quality time. So what defines quality? Here are a few key adjectives that best define quality time. The first is that quality time is intentional. It does not happen by accident or on a whim. That may mean literally putting it on the family's calendar so it's a priority for everyone's schedule. Make a plan, think ahead, and think about what is best for your child for individual time or for your entire family if a family fun night is in order. Quality time should also be focused. A simple way to think about this is distraction-free. Turn off and put away the phones. This means for your child and for you. Practice the lost art of eye contact and conversation. Ask great open-ended questions, getting to know what is on your child's heart and mind. Take time to really focus on what your child has to share. And ultimately, quality time should communicate love. Whatever it is that you decide to do, let it be an expression of your love for your child. That may mean it's something you know that your child's been dying to do or is super interested in. That may mean you planned way ahead so your child knows just how much time and effort you put into planning. And you might need to connect physically with your child during that time, be it with a hug, holding hands, or acts of service. Yes, even if they squirm and roll their eyes, show them how much you've cared. I've often heard people ask if you'd rather have quality or quantity time. Well, my answer is why can't I have both? In fact, we all need both. Quality time is strengthened with it in quantity. Now don't get overzealous or overwhelmed and pack into the schedule weekly dates with each child and your spouse. Be realistic, but also be consistent and make it a habit of quantity and quality. There will be many opportunities in decision-making, schedule planning, and engaging with technology to also then pull together as a family. Now, pulling together as a family may mean literally gathering together in a physical space or getting on the same page. And there are a few ways to really pull together as a family. First, in decisions. Big or little, it's important to include your child in decision-making. Not because they get to make the ultimate decision necessarily, but because it is practice for their future. It gives your child a voice and includes them in the process, knowing that their opinions matter. It's important for you as a parent to truly listen to what your child's thoughts are on decisions, be it to continue playing a sport, add on that advanced placement class, or where friendships are going or not. Another opportunity to pull together as a family is in tough times. Sometimes the best ways to come together in tough times is simple presence. I remember a story Pastor Rick Warren shared when his teenage daughter did not make the cheerleading team. Instead of offering advice, giving encouragement, or even praying, he simply sat with her, held her, and cried with her. Whatever tough times look like in your family, pull together as a family to face them together. And last, don't forget to pull together as a family in good times. That may mean time spent as a family over weekly dinners at the table, monthly game nights, or annual vacations. Make it a priority to have some all-family connection time. Or maybe your family has traditions over the holidays or for birthdays. Make celebrating a time to pull everyone together and just have fun. Finally, one of the best things that you can do to get out of the world's push and pull is to pull out of something good in order to have the best. Now, in order to say yes to the best, you need to say no to the okay, good, or even great. And man, is this hard. If you're like me, you might struggle with FOMO, that fear of missing out. What if I pull my kid out of basketball? Am I ruining his chance of an NBA career? Or if my daughter doesn't go into honors, is her dream of college out of the question? Don't let the what ifs hold you back. Trust God and know that when you say no to something, that He can and will open up many more doors of opportunity. So Mom, Dad, you need to find what needs to be pushed out or pulled for or against so that the world is not pushing and pulling you in every direction. And when you do so, the rewards will be wonderful. Don't give up. Now take some time now to review on your own, with your spouse, or with your small group, some practical ways that you can push and pull for the best that God has to offer you in your parenting journey.